which you think and react.
We're
There are
watching.
aspects of your being that are far greater in their grandiose scope and focus than you could ever conceive of. Because the neurological capacity of your own higher self is many orders of magnitude greater than could ever be contained within the limited constraints of the human brain. And yet the fact that you are, with limitation, is part of your sacred journey. At this stage of your development, you have chosen this body, chosen this life, chosen this incarnation to learn lessons.
Truth seekers. He's talking about Wilcock and his scammy Egyptian god Ra.
One of those basic lessons is that you do have a world of cause and effect. That cause and effect principle is not some impersonal universal law that has no mitigation involved. It is very carefully balanced out and weighted out by those who are looking at both sides of the story and trying to determine what is best for you. There are committees that meet over your life and discuss what path to take next.
So, according to the Egyptian god Ra, there's a whole committee of spiritual entities, and they have meetings to decide where to take your weight. But that would mean we don't have any free will, because the committee decides. And again, this is nonsense.
You are on a path of spiritual awakening. Trust us when we tell you that there are board meetings, there are issues to discuss, there are agendas to raise, there are a variety of approaches that are hypothetically thought about and tossed around before they are actually put into practice.
The Egyptian god Ra is having board meetings, according to David Wilcock. Why would an Egyptian god have board meetings? And he says us. I thought you're channeling one god. How many gods is David Wilcock channeling here? This shit is getting confusing.
And in many cases, we find the inhibitions of fear prevent others from going to the places and meeting the people that would quite naturally bring them to the next step. So we encourage you to be fluid and mobile. We encourage you to be open to new experiences. We encourage you not to fall into the storied old habit patterns of the way things always have been done, where you always are at a certain point in time.
Yeah, and again, we get this Tony Robbins treatment here. Why would the Egyptian god Ra talk like a self-help coach? Right? The Egyptian god Ra thought, you know what? Humanity's on a wrong path. And apparently Tony Robbins is not enough to tell them not to fall into old negative patterns. So I gotta channel myself. I'm gonna possess David Wilcock, that psychic sumbitch. I'm gonna possess the psychic sumbitch, David Wilcock. And I'm gonna make him talk like a puppet, you know? Like sticking your hand up David Wilcock's head. Oh man, that just brought up real bad imagery. But still, I'm the Egyptian god Ra, so I'm gonna put my hand up David Wilcock's butt and make him talk. But it's me talking, not David Wilcock, because I possess this psychic sumbitch. And now I'm gonna talk just like Tony Robbins and tell humanity not to fall into old negative patterns of bad behavior, just like Tony Robbins tells people not to do. Because this makes all kinds of sense, doesn't it?
I'm at a certain day, in a certain place. It's okay to add random acts of unexpected twists to the storyline of your life. It's okay to do something totally different. It's okay to take a dinner, an ordinary event, and just get up and go. Get into the car, go somewhere, do something totally unexpected. Spontaneity can be a wonderful thing in life. It can be a wonderful experience to allow that feeling of being on vacation to carry with you.
Oh my God.
Because in reality, we expect nothing.
Apparently, the Egyptian god Ra also wants us to enjoy life and feel like we're on vacation. Because this makes total sense, right? Be spontaneous. Feel like you're on vacation. Allow yourself to have some fun. The Egyptian god Ra was so concerned with the human race not having enough vacations or spontaneity or having enough fun that he had to channel himself through the world's worst psychic, David Wilcock, to tell us all about it.
Nothing less than the best for you. And every day, every moment of every day is a vacation. Once you attain the consciousness, you have never been separated from the Creator. You have always been one. There is no boundary distinction between yourself and the others around you. You are whole, and you are pure, and you are complete in this moment. That is the greater truth that eviscerates those who do not choose to be honest with themselves. It can also become your greatest asset and ally under the proper circumstances. And that propriety is determined by your own ability to step beyond the blockages of the emotional body, which come up by the reactions that you choose to have to the events in your life. You choose to feel hurt. You choose to feel guilty. You choose to feel fear. You choose to feel betrayed. You choose to feel anger and rage. These emotions do not need to happen. They are the manifestations of your ego and it is a state of imbalance.
Imagine the ego of a man who's going to talk about people having big egos while he's channeling an Egyptian god, right? It's the ego. That's your problem. Your problem is your ego, right? Maybe, just maybe, there's a couple of Freudian slips in here, and his own subconscious is doing this, is saying this shit, and not some Egyptian god.
And that state of imbalance can be created by a variety of different factors that all coalesce together to make you who you are. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to embrace your distortions. And once you become aware of what those distortions are, honoring the fact that this is your sacred quest, this is your sacred path, you can also learn to step beyond them. You can learn to see a bigger picture, to move outside the limited definition of the fisheye lens of life that once seemed to be so all-encompassing, to realize that it is only but a peephole in the doorway, and the door is now opening. And as it opens, beams of light shine forth upon you.
Oh, love and light! There's beams of light shining forth upon you! Where did we hear this stuff before? Oh, at every New Age nonsense conference that since New Age nonsense conferences started.
Filling you with radiant peace and happiness, reminding you of all that you are, because you are truly loved more than you could ever possibly imagine. Your divine grace and splendor is unchallenged to us.
And again, this whole gobbledygook nonsense is specifically designed for people that are in, let's just say, emotional or psychological distress, people that feel hopeless and unloved. Oh no, you are more loved than you know.
We feel nothing but peace and warmth and love and acceptance of you. And it is so difficult for us to truly express that when there is so much chaos and turmoil and dis-ease upon your planet. It is not easy for us.
So, because there's so much distress and turmoil on our planet, the gods are finding it hard to express their love for us. Well, this is another nonsensical statement because he's channeling through a human. Can you just have David Wilcock tell us that all the gods love you? But you just did. So why is it so difficult? Because you just did it. None of this makes any sense. Don't try to make sense of this shit. This is garbage.
To convey to you the full scope to which you are being served and guided and protected. Certainly you can look at your life and see events that happen that are unpleasant, and recognize this law of karma that at times brings those challenging events into your life. Your life only does so in its attempts to bring you back into balance once more.
And again, the law of karma would be Eastern philosophy, not ancient Egyptian philosophy. Not sure what the Egyptians thought on the so-called law of karma, but why would an Egyptian god be speaking about Eastern beliefs and philosophies or Buddhist beliefs and philosophies? This isn't a Buddhist god. David Wilcock, you gotta work harder. You should have looked up some Egyptian stuff. So far, David Wilcock has the Egyptian god Ra talking about Jesus and the Bible and Revelations and the trumpets and the seals. Now he's got the Egyptian god Ra talking about karma and shit from Eastern religions. This is terrible fan fiction, David Wilcock. This is terrible. Why would the Egyptian god Ra be quoting Christian Bible or quoting Buddhist beliefs and philosophies when he's got his own beliefs? That they had their own culture? David Wilcock, did you not even look anything up? Right? There are Egyptian beliefs about life after death and what happens to us. And so far, the Egyptian god Ra hasn't said any of that stuff. He's too busy telling us about the Bible and Jesus prophecies and the book of Revelations and Buddhist beliefs about karma.
For when you achieve balance, you achieve the state of preservation, of that remembrance of your true identity. So in balance, you remember who you are. And that memory is a glorious gift that many souls lost in depravity upon your planet can only attempt to throw money at. Sometimes lots and lots and lots of money.
Okay, so we've got to be in balance to find our true selves. What does that mean? We've got to be in balance to find our true selves. Again, the people who channel throw out really vague nonsense so that it will resonate with some people. Like, maybe some people are feeling a little off balance, maybe too many negative influences in their life, right? And they got to get back into balance. And then they hear David Wilcock claiming to channel the Egyptian god Ra, saying the same thing they're thinking. Oh yeah, this resonates with me. This teaching of David Wilcock's, it really resonates with me right now. Wait, throw enough nonsense against the wall, right? Throw enough stuff, something's going to stick. This is a lot like cold reading, but in a much different way.
In an attempt to buy their way into the happiness that seems to be so spontaneous and natural to others. It is all too common for you to look upon certain people who seem to have a good life on earth and imagine for a moment what it would be like if you were in their shoes and think how much better your life might be. Yet your own statisticians have shown time and time again that the excess of profits, the excess of money, and the compulsive pursuit of same oftentimes leads to a shackled prison of the mind that is no better than any other experience.
And this is another interesting point, because apparently David Wilcock is channeling the Egyptian god Ra. And this is many years ago, telling everybody, don't worry about money and don't pursue money, because money is not going to bring you happiness, and it's going to bring you down. The relentless pursuit of money and financial things and, I suppose, worldly pleasures, right? Money, you don't need money. Money's not going to bring you happiness. Then why is David Wilcock selling crap for $333 if he doesn't need money to be happy? If he doesn't want money to be happy? So it's very clear that David Wilcock doesn't even follow his own crappy teachings. Because if he did, he'd be giving this crap away. Because money isn't going to make him happy, and it's only going to bring him down. But here we get to the hypocrisy of David Wilcock, telling people as the Egyptian god Ra, don't worry about money, it's only going to bring you down, while he's begging everybody for money constantly. It's awesome.
As we did say on the What is My Purpose CD, one of David's clients was in a trailer park, and on the same day he had another client who had a mansion. And it was very difficult to tell the two apart because their mindset and their issues and their struggles were almost identical. This was not to insult those who have little money or those who have a great deal of money.
So the Egyptian god Ra is very concerned about two of David Wilcock's psychic reading clients, right? Because that makes total sense. An Egyptian god Ra, he's not busy at all. He's got all the time in the world to keep up with David Wilcock's clients that he's given fake psychic readings to.
As each person finds themselves at a state that they need to be in for that level of their learning curriculum, it is okay to have desires. It is okay to seek something. It is okay to pursue ways in which you can be more comfortable. Providing, of course, that if you desire to be on the positive path, you bear in mind that these efforts can always be adjusted in such a means as to figure out time and again how you may better be of service to others.
Oh, there we have it. The law of one. Be more of service to others than service to self.
Love you guys. Let's
Well,
see
at least
how
he's
this goes.
finally
This is a
connected
test.
something. We're up to 18 minutes in, and that's the first thing he said that actually